Diversity, equity, and inclusion hires have been put on leave, basically pending their firing from the Trump administration. We can put it up full mass. So Trump has set an order to all DEI staff to be put on leave. Trump admin orders federal DEI staff to be placed on paid leave by Wednesday. The Trump administration is directing agencies to move and close federal diversity, equity, and inclusion officers and place DEI staff on paid leave by 5 p.m. Wednesday Eastern time ahead of being laid off. All right. So there's a memorandum that went out. The OPM's memo instructs agencies to take offline all websites, all social media accounts associated with DEI by Wednesday. The next action is for the agencies to report on steps taken to implement the order by 12 p.m. Thursday Eastern time. This includes providing a, quote, complete list of DEI offices and workers as of Election Day 2024, according to the memo. The agencies must provide a written plan for executing reduction in force action for DEI employees by 5 p.m. Friday Eastern time, the memo says. The White House also gave a statement, quote, President Trump campaigned on ending the scourge of DEI from our federal government and returning America to a merit-based society where people are hired based on their skills, not for the color of their skin, said White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt in a media statement. Quote, this is another win for Americans of all races, religions, and creeds. Promises made, promises kept. Trump, in Monday's order calling for the termination of all federal government DEI programs, described the Biden administration initiatives to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion as, quote, illegal and immoral discrimination programs. It was not clear how many employees would be affected. Reportedly, Black nurses who had offer letters to start new careers at the VA have had their opportunities completely rescinded during the hiring freeze. Keep in mind, the federal government is the largest single employer of Black people in the United States of America. Look at the numbers. And so when individuals who are pro-Trump policy, especially if they happen to be Black, I need you to understand these policies adversely affect the communities that produce you. Now, they say merit-based system. That's interesting. Merit-based. Look at all of the Supreme Court justices since the beginning of this country. Do you really believe that white men are more qualified to a ratio of 99% to 1? Because if you look at their system, that's what the system would indicate. The system would indicate that based on just merit, 99% of the time, a white male should have that job and many others. Look at your leading CEOs. The reality is they are eliminating the barriers that would have been placed in their way as it relates to equitable outcomes. They don't want equitable outcomes. They never did. Equality is a joke to them. They want an advantage. They want an advantage. They don't want America to look like the diversity of America. They're okay with it looking, well, the way it looked back in 1960, 1970. All of the progress made by those who fought in the civil rights era of this nation, gone. That's what they want. They want it gone. Every generation is responsible for doing two things: securing the freedoms that you currently have and fighting for them to enhance. That is our obligation. Ben, thoughts here?
Yeah, it's very transparent what the Trump administration is doing. Like you said, if you didn't have these policies and the workforce in government was matching society even somewhat closely, you could argue you wouldn't need these programs. But it's not the case.
That's right.
With Trump trying to argue that you don't need these programs, look at his inauguration crowd up on that stage. With the exception of the CEO of Google, there wasn't, and JD Vance's wife, there wasn't a darker skinned person on that stage. It's all white people. And so that's the America that he wants. He's not trying to have it be merit based. It's quite different than that. He's trying to have it be people who match what he values, what his administration values. And there weren't enough orange people to go around, so he had to go white second choice.
Right. There you go. All right. We'll bring you updates as they come. Guaranteed to be some.